So today I have a book haul and an unboxing for you. So I have a few things that I got recently that I thought I would share. These are the packages that I'm going to be opening with you. I have a pre-order that came in yesterday, and then I have a couple of packages from publishers. I did peek in the packages already. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But I did want to share them with you, and then I also have some other books to haul. So let's go ahead and get started with the unboxings. First up, I have my pre-order from Amazon. I have been very much anticipating this. So let's open this up. It is As She Ascends by Jodi Meadows. This is book 2 in the Fallen Isles trilogy. The first one is Before She Ignites, which came out last year. I really loved it. There wasn't so much buzz about this. I feel like it maybe didn't get the attention it deserves, but I was a huge fan. I read it after things had kind of died down, and I think it's got really great rep for anxiety, and it's just a really well-written fantasy story. So I'm excited to continue on with the trilogy and see what happens. Also, the covers are just absolutely stunning, so yeah, I'm very excited. I have this in my possession. Oh, it's really long too, man. This is like, it's like 550 pages. Oh man. Okay, anyway, so I'm excited for this. I really, really like Jodi Meadows. I think she's great, and I loved the first book, so I am looking forward to book 2. So that came in the mail. And oh yeah, and because I pre-ordered it, they did like a giveaway. I got a few things, but one of the things was a signed book plate to put in my book, so hooray! I already like took it out and put the book plate in, but I saved the box. All right, the next package is from the Harlequin Publicity Team, and they periodically send me books to promote on Instagram. I'm not required to read them, but I frequently do review them, and they send me some really good ones, and this one I definitely will be reading. I'm very excited. It's perfect for Halloween. This is The Witch of Willow Hall by Hester Fox. This is set in the 1800s, and it has witches and romance, and is creepy and atmospheric, and it's beautiful. It has a map in it and deckled edges, which I know not everyone likes, but I really like them. I think they're great. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This one goes on sale on October 2nd if you guys want to go check it out. And the last thing that I want to unbox with you guys, I'm probably most excited about it. I just think this is really cool. I was reached out to by a PR team for this independent author who writes middle grade stories to see if I would be open to receiving a box and reviewing the book. And of course I said yes, because it sounded right up my alley. And so this is for The Blue Witch by Alane Adams. I love the packaging. Also, it's the cutest box, you guys, so I wanted to share with you. I told them I would share it on Instagram, which I did, but since I was doing this, I was like, well, let me just share it on YouTube too, because I think it's really cool. This is part of the Witches of Orkney series, and I love the art. I will actually link the Instagram account of the artist down below if you guys want to go check them out, but I'm loving the art, and this looks adorable. It looks right up my alley. It's like a middle grade fantasy adventure, and the packaging is so cute. Look at this. It says, "Is there someone there?" Like creepy eyes, and then it's got like quotes on the side. It says, "My witch's hands will conjure evil. I plot, I plan. I'm quite deceitful." It's so fun. Oh my gosh, I love this. And then it says, "My witch's blood, it burns with power. Cross me not, or you will cower." It's just, this is super cool. Okay, so, and we open the box. Ta-da! It's so cute. Isn't it adorable? There's like a spider and a girl. Delicious, methinks. I just love the packaging, and I don't know if you can see, probably not because there's stuff in it, but the bottom of the box has all these little spiders on it. It's just the cutest. This is what it looks like, and I will show you guys all of the fun swag that came in the box. And I am going to be reading this in October and reviewing it. I'm really excited. I'm actually also going to be reading it with Leanna from Leanna's Library, and a girl that follows me on Instagram, Sushi Rainbow. So we're going to be doing a buddy read of this, which I'm really looking forward to. All right, so let's show you all the things that came in the box because it's super cute. I actually think that this box would be perfect for middle grade kids to open, and I think my 4-year-old will get a kick out of it, so I feel like once I'm done with all of this, I'm going to let him open it up and like have most of the stuff inside of it because I think he'll enjoy it. So first there is a pin which has a stylized letter T on it. I don't know what that's for, but I assume that we will find out in the book. It also came with this really cool witch's potion, and guys, it's bubbles. Isn't that so cool? I love it. I'm curious to see what that looks like on camera. That'll be really interesting. But yeah, so that's super cute. It's like bubbles, and my almost 2-year-old will probably love that because he's obsessed with bubbles and wants to blow them himself. Then it has this cute little notebook. It says Hugo's Scientific Journal, private, do not open. So it's just a nice little notebook with a beautiful dragonfly on the front. Then we have a beautiful spider ring. Man, even my pinky is too big. Yeah, this is definitely for children, but still very cool. And then there is a swirly blue lollipop, which is really cute. This is so fun. This is just like the most fun little box, I feel like, for kids especially. It's great, and the packaging is so on point. I just love it. And then inside of the book we got some prints, which are really cool. And on the back of it just has information about the story in the book, but we've got this one, The Girl with the Dragons, and this. The art is just super cute, guys. I love the art. And this one, and then of course here we have The Witch's Code. I'm not going to read all of it, but it's funny. It's like, my witch's heart is made of stone, cold as winter I cut to the bone. My witch's soul is black as tar, forged in darkness to leave a scar, etc. So anyway, super cute. Really like those. I like the art prints. And then of course we have the book, The Blue Witch by Alane Adams. This is an advanced copy. And when does this come out? It's in October. I don't know. It doesn't give the exact date. I have a paper around here somewhere that probably tells me the exact publication date, so I will put it on the screen below so that you guys know when it is coming out. But yeah, it looks super cute. Like I said, it's from an indie author, and I've actually heard really good things about her books. I have not read anything by her, but I have friends who've said that they have and really loved them. This is about a young girl named Abigail who's going to a school because she wants to be a witch, but unfortunately she has yet to unlock her magic, and she's kind of made fun of as a result of that. When her friend is in jeopardy, she unlocks it, but her magic is different from everyone else's, and she has to go on a quest to find out who she is and where it comes from and all these things. So I think this is going to be a book about self-discovery and friendship and probably loving yourself and magic and dragons, and so I'm all about that. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much for sending this to me. I am really looking forward to reading the book, and I just think the box is adorable, so I am sure my child will thoroughly enjoy that as well. All right, moving on to other books. I have two other books that I received from a publisher, one from a publisher, one from an author, and then a couple books that I got from friends who like so kindly sent me things. I have a book outlet order, and then I have some other sort of random things to share with you. So first up, the thing that I got from a publisher, I actually already read this and I loved it, guys. This is called Fierce Fairytales, Poems and Stories to Stir Your Soul by Nikita Gill. This is, like I said, it's very short stories and poetry. I am not typically a big reader of poetry, but I loved this, and it's making me wonder if I should reconsider that and try reading some more poetry. She also wrote Wild Embers, which I have not read, but I know my friend Katrina over at the Fabulous Book Fiend did read it and loved it. And this is just stunning, you guys. So thank you so much to Hachette for sending me a copy. I really appreciate it, and I reviewed it and really, really loved it. So the cover is beautiful, but what's also really cool is the author actually did all these like beautiful little sketches throughout the book. And I mean, of course, I'm such a fan. This is essentially turning fairy tales on their head. It's a fiercely feminist reimagining of all of the classic fairy tales. It also does tackle toxic masculinity and overcoming that. Yeah, anyway, I really love it. If you guys want to hear a full review on this, I would be happy to make a video about it, so let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in hearing me talk about it. Like I said, I don't read a lot of poetry, so I probably don't have that much to draw on, but I just found this to be very compelling and very empowering. I recommend it. I really, really loved it. And then a viewer on the channel actually reached out to me and asked if she could send me a copy of her book, and so I said yes, and honestly, I hadn't planned on getting to it right away, but I ended up just flipping through it and was like, oh, this is interesting, let me sit down and read it, and ended up reading it in like 2 hours. So this is the Neuroscience of Dating by Heidi Crockett, independently published book. It's self-published. The author is a certified sex educator, and so she uses principles of neuroscience to talk about modern dating. She talks a lot about dating online, and I know you're wondering, but you're married, why are you reading this? Yes, I am. I'm like happily married. I'm not planning on like dating at all. However, I am always interested in this kind of stuff, like the science behind it and everything. I thought it sounded interesting, and so I said, yeah, sure, send it to me. And also I have a lot of friends in my life who are single women who I think might benefit from this sort of thing. So I ended up giving this one, I think 3 stars, 3.5 stars. So there's a lot of things I really liked about it. I think it's part practical how-to guide for dating online in the modern era and doing it effectively. It's also partly this sort of neuroscience side of things and is thought-provoking, and it has questions at the end of every chapter where you can kind of like a workbook where you can like write your thoughts, which I think is great. The downsides are you can definitely tell that this is not traditionally published. The formatting is, you know, not perfect, and the flow is not always the best. I think sometimes it's very chatty and sometimes it's very academic, and so the tone is a little bit inconsistent. Also, sorry, this is like turning into a book review, not just a book haul, but probably this is what I'm saying in my wrap-up too. I don't know why I'm doing this here, whatever. One other thing is she does like also mention some kind of out there, like, okay, like maybe you don't think this is out there, but like some things that for me were a little bit out there in terms of like sexual activities, and it's never talked about graphically, but to me it was like a little bit jarring, so I would say for my more conservative viewers, maybe be aware. This is like a very sex positive book, and some of the things mentioned I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, but in general, I think there's a lot to like here, and this is something that I will probably actually send off to one of my friends who is in the midst of dating. I think there's a lot of really practical tools and a lot of really thought-provoking things, and things that I even found thought-provoking considering my own history with dating and also friendships too and relating to others. So anyway, I liked it. I think I gave it like 3 or 3.5 stars. There's a lot to like here. It's not perfect. There's some issues with it, but yeah, I liked it. So if you're interested, go pick it up. I think it's available on Amazon, and you can get it for the Kindle as well. So thank you, Heidi, for sending that to me. I do really appreciate it. I also had a couple of my wonderful BookTube friends send me books, which was so sweet of them and completely unexpected. Amanda over at the Naughty Librarian sent me a signed copy of The Duchess Deal by Tessa Dare, which was just so sweet of her. I know that Tessa Dare has become one of her new favorite authors. She writes historical romance, and I do like her stuff, and everybody seems to be loving her. So this is like a hardcover signed copy, which is so sweet. I actually have this in paperback, but I do not have a signed copy. I do not have a hardcover copy. So that was just so thoughtful of her. So thank you so much to Amanda for sending me that. I haven't read it yet. I've had it on my shelf for a while, and so I need to read it. But yeah, so I'm excited to have that in my collection. And then this was just like one of the most thoughtful things. Brandy over at Brandy Janine's bookshelf saw in my last haul, I think it was my last haul, that I had ordered this book on eBay looking for a specific cover, and they sent me the wrong cover, and it wasn't a huge deal, but I was kind of annoyed about it. And so she very, very thoughtfully bought it for me in the cover that I wanted. So thank you, Brandy. That was super sweet of you. This is Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh. This is the first in a paranormal romance series that I've had lots of people recommend to me, and I much prefer this cover to the other ones, so I'm actually really happy to have this, so thank you, Brandy. I do really appreciate that. Moving on to other books, there was one that I actually picked up for free. People leave books in the lobby of our building that kind of anyone can take. This one looked really interesting. It's called New York Burning, Liberty, Slavery, and Conspiracy in 18th Century Manhattan by Jill Lepore. Yeah, this just sounded really interesting. I especially living in New York now, I'm curious to know more about the history of it. This is really interesting. So it's about like the history of slavery and racism and issues in New York looking in like the 1700s. And it's something I'm interested in. So I thought I would pick that up. It didn't cost me anything, which was very exciting. And then I recently did a vlog for like a mom's night out thing where I got out of the house and, you know, did some shopping and hung out with a friend and whatever, and I actually hauled 4 books in that video, so I'm going to show them to you guys here as well. The first one is a book that I have been wanting for a while, and I picked it up during Barnes & Noble's big 50% book blowout sale because it was half price, which was a really good price for this book. This is Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. This is one of his earlier books that I have not read. I did read We Were 8 Years in Power and really loved it. I ended up purchasing that. We originally got it from the library, read it, loved it, so I found a half-price copy of it and bought it to have in our collection. And I've been wanting to pick up his other book. This, I think, is a memoir of his, and normally it's kind of pricey. Yeah, it's usually like $25, but with my discount and the 50% off sale, this only ended up being like $11, which I thought was really great. So I'm happy to add this to my collection, and hopefully I'll get to pick this up sometime soon. Then It was really funny timing because earlier in that day, my friend Jade over at the Bedtime Bookworm had been asking me if I had read And I Darken by Kirsten White. And I've seen a lot of people talk about it. I've thought about it, but I've never read it or picked it up. And so I was like, yeah, maybe I should give it a try. You're not the first person to tell me that. So I went to my local bookstore, The Strand, that evening, and I actually found a copy for $2. So I was like, okay, well, the timing seems right. I guess I will pick up a copy. So I found this for $2. This is historical fiction. It is a gender-flipped retelling of Vlad the Impaler, who kind of inspired Dracula. This is not fantasy. It is historical fiction, and I don't think it's terribly historically accurate as well. I picked this up. This is the first in the series. I know there's 2 other books out. I don't know if it's just a trilogy or if it's continuing. I'm not sure. But I've heard some people say really good things about it. And the other thing is, I just finished reading an arc of another upcoming book by her, The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, which is a retelling of Frankenstein, and I loved it. It was really, really good. So I was like, okay, well, I probably should pick up something else by her too. So anyway, I found this one for $2, all that to say. So I'm excited to give that a try. And then I also picked up the next book in 2 romance series that I'm currently following. The first is in the Reluctant Royals series. This is A Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole. I have the first book in the series, A Princess in Theory, which I really enjoyed. I've been liking Alyssa Cole, so I saw this. Also, I love these covers. Like, can't romance covers be more like this? Like, colorful and pretty, and it still looks like a romance book, but it's not like trashy. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's just me. Speaking of trashy romance covers, I also picked up Born to be Wild by Eloisa James. This is book 3 in the Wilds of Lindo Castle series, and I'm actually really excited about this because I've been waiting for this book. This follows 2 side characters from the other books that I think are going to have like a hate to love romance, which I really like. I like hate to love. I read the other 2 books in the series. I think book 1 I gave 4 stars. Book 2 I gave 3 stars. I didn't like it quite as much, but this one I think I'm really going to be a fan of, so I'm looking forward to that one. I have a book outlet order, and then I just have some other books that I've picked up from my bookstore. So first, let's talk about the book outlet order. So it's funny. This was a book that I was not gonna buy this until I had actually started the series, but then I saw it on Book Outlet. It's like the special edition that actually matches the other covers I have, and I don't really like the other normal edition. Anyway, all that to say, I ended up buying The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon. This is book 3 in the series. The Bone Season is book 1. And I'm actually going to be reading it in October, so I don't feel so bad now because I am actually joining a readathon, so now I'm glad I have it. But this is the special edition cover, which I really, really love. I am not the biggest fan of the regular cover. I'll show it to here, and it doesn't match the other hardcovers that I have, so this matches, and it's just beautiful. And it was $11. And these are limited edition. It was a sort of scratch and dent, so it did have a little bit of a tear in the dust jacket, which I taped up, but I don't mind. It's still really pretty, and it matches my books, so it's fine. And yes, it's beautiful. It's got this like, oh, so pretty, guys. It's so pretty, and I have an orange book, and it is signed, so that is very exciting. So now I have that. Yay. I recently think I showed you that I had like bought books 4 and 5 of the Fallen Kingdom series, and I was still missing book 3, so guess what I got? Book 3, Gathering Darkness by Morgan Rhodes. I need to actually continue the series. I read book 1 and I want to continue on, so now I have books 1 through 5. This was like a couple bucks, so I like now have a collection of those. They don't all match, but it's cool. And then I picked up, oh, is this book 1? Oh, shoot, I don't know. Oh, okay. So this was maybe kind of dumb. I didn't realize this was book 2 in a series, but I've been kind of collecting Kendar Blake's books, and I don't have any in the series, and it looks interesting. I picked up Mortal Gods. This is the Goddess War series. Unfortunately, I realized after I bought it, this is book 2. Anti-Goddess is book 1, so now I need book 1. But in general, I've been really loving Kendar Blake. She writes just really dark, interesting books, and this involves like the Greek gods and fantasy, and I don't know, it looks fun, so yeah. I didn't mean to get book 2, but that was what they had, so now I have book 2. I also got book 2 of a series by her. Oh, I should really read this in October. Huh, it's a duology. Maybe I'll put this on my October TBR, because this would be perfect for it. I haven't read it yet, but this is Girl of Nightmares. This is the sequel to Anna Dressed in Blood, which I have. I should totally put this on my October TBR. That would be like perfect. They're like horror, YA, ghost story horror books, so yeah. Also on Book Outlet, I got the next 2 books in the Winter's Curse trilogy. I have book 1. I haven't read it yet, but I read the first chapter and it sounded cool, so I decided to get them. They were like $3 each, so I got the Winter's Kiss and the Winter's Crime, so I now have the complete trilogy. And I have one other thing that came in my Book Outlet order. Hold on, let me go grab this. And for the record, I had a coupon, so they were like doing a, this is the thing with Book Outlet, so they were doing a sale, so it was like $5 off $25 and whatnot, so yeah. But the other thing that I picked up, this is kind of more for my kids than me, but I really wanted a nice set, is they had a complete boxed set of the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, which is really exciting. Yeah, so I'm very happy to actually have these. I have my own childhood copies that are like falling apart, but I really wanted to have a nice set for my kids as they get a little bit older. Probably in a year or 2, I could start reading these with my oldest kid. He might be like almost there. We're like almost there with the stuff he's reading, and not quite there yet, but yeah, giving it a couple years. So yeah, and I have these nice, and I've actually never seen these editions before. They're kind of interesting. I don't hate them. They're not like my favorite, but it was a really good price on these. I think the whole set was 20 bucks, which I thought was really great. So yeah. So that's everything that came in my Book Outlet order, and then I have a stack of books from the Strand, because you know how I do. Alright, so let's see. First up, guys, you know I read Kiss of Deception, and I loved it, so I had to go out and get the rest of the series. Unfortunately, they did not have book 2 in hardcover, so I grabbed that from my library so I could read it. I read it. It was 5 stars. It was great. Now I need to pick up book 3, which I did find a hardcover copy for $9, which was great. This is The Beauty of Darkness, book 3. I'm on a waiting list. I eventually want to own the whole series, so I'm on a waiting list to find a half-price copy and hardcover of book 2, so eventually I will have that in my collection as well. I'm on the lookout for it, but for now I have books 1 and 3, so I'm excited to pick this one up. This one's really big though, but I'm really into them. And she's got a new book that I probably will get soon that's set in the same world as part of a new series. So anyway, yeah, so new favorite. One other book that I also found down in my building, like I said, where people leave books for free, is a book that has been seriously making the rounds of BookTube. And I've been like, no, I don't think I'm interested. I don't think I'm interested. But so many of my friends with different reading tastes have been loving this book. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I should go ahead and give it a shot. I found a copy of Beartown by Frederick Bachman. So this is like about a small town where hockey is a big deal, which does not sound at all interesting to me. However, even people who said that they felt that way said that they really loved this book because it's about a lot of other things and he does really good characters, apparently. So it was free. So I got it. So I want to give this a try. The thing is, if somebody doesn't buddy read this with me, I will probably like never get around to it. So please somebody say they want to buddy read this with me because I am curious, unless it fits into a readathon maybe, but yeah. So I'm curious. I did pick this up. I would like to see what all the hype is about. And in the same vein of things, another book that everybody seems to be loving by him, I found a copy of for 50 cents. This is A Man Called Uva. I think this is about like a grumpy old man, which also doesn't sound that interesting, but apparently it's really good. I don't know. But yeah, I found a paperback copy for 50 cents. So there you go. That's my 50-cent total Frederick Bachman book haul. Figure for that it's worth giving him a try since everybody seems to love him so much. Then for $2, I found a hardcover copy of a book that I read and really liked. I actually had an e-arc of this book. It's so pretty. I don't really need it, but it's so pretty, and it was $2. This is A Song of Blood and Stone by L.L. Penelope. It's book 1 in the Earthsinger Chronicles. It's like a adult fantasy romance, and I really liked it. I thought it was fun, and it's so beautiful. Like, look at this, and it's got, I don't know. Anyway, I liked it. It's one that I could see myself maybe revisiting in the future, especially before book 2 comes out. I would be interested in continuing with the series, and it was only $2. It's so pretty, guys. So I got that. We're almost done. Okay, a few more books. Another 50-cent paperback that I found was book 1 in the Temeraire series, His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik. I have been collecting these. I actually have books like 3, 4, and 5 in the series, and I found book 1, so that's really exciting. So now I could actually start reading the series. I've been finding these for like 50 cents at a time, and I really like other things I've read by Naomi Novik, so I'm curious to read this by her. Another $2 find is a book that I've actually heard surprisingly good things about. This is Bonfire by Kristen Ritter, and I think this is a thriller. It's interesting, this was actually the Book of the Month Club edition, but like I said, I found it for $2. I probably wouldn't have thought to pick this up, but people that I know who read thrillers and like them have said that they were surprised at actually how high quality her writing was. They weren't expecting much out of it because she's like a celebrity, but they said it's actually really good. So, like, okay, I will give that a try. Then one of my local booksellers convinced me to buy a book. It's funny, I was kind of going to pass on this one, but she convinced me. They had a half-price copy of Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. This is a new YA book. It just came out. I think it's her debut, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Is it her debut? No. Okay, never mind. It is not her debut. This is about girl pirates, which I was like, in theory that's kind of cool, but in practice I tend to not be that into books set on ships. I don't know why. It's just not my favorite thing. I know there are people who love it. However, my local lovely bookseller told me that she thinks I would like it. She said that it's actually not like your typical ship. It's more of a techie steampunk ship, and that the girls are really awesome and it's about female friendship. So I was like, okay, let me pick this up. You really think it's that great? And it's got a really pretty cover. So I have Seafire. Again, buddy read, anybody? This would be like another one that I would be happy to buddy read. Thank you, bookseller. Hopefully I do in fact like it. Tells you how frequently I'm at my bookstore. Then I'm really happy. I've been on a waiting list to purchase this book. I originally read it from my library and wanted to own the entire series. I have Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire. So now I have all 3 of the books that are so far released, which is very exciting. I didn't want to pay full price for it, so I'd been on a waiting list, and I ended up getting this one for $9.50, which is great because normally it's like $17, $18, and I've been looking on Book Outlet for it too, but I keep missing it. So yes, I'm happy. I now have all of them, and I loved this. And the final book that I have to share with you today is a book that I actually didn't think I was interested in, but I keep hearing really good things about it. My friend Mara over Books Like Whoa really loved it, and I've heard some other people that I trust say that they thought it was really good. So when I found a half-price copy, I was like, okay, I'll try it. This is Sadie by Courtney Summers. I don't exactly know what this is about. I think it's kind of part thriller, but as far as I know, it gets very dark. I do know that people are questioning whether this is truly YA because it is like a much darker book than usual, but yeah, so I have that. So that's another one that I would like to try. It was not one that originally sort of called to me, but I've had enough people recommend it that I thought I would give it a try. Alright, so there you have it. Those are all of the books that I have to share with you today, including some unboxings. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys want to buddy read any of these with me. That would be great. Some of these are books that I've already read and just wanted to add to my collection, but yeah. Anyway, and thank you so much to people, friends, publishers for sending me some of these. I will link everybody in the video description down below if you guys want to check them out. Like I said, comment, talk to me. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.